Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on a super fun layout with a huge picture of my son. It's an 8x10 and I cut it out. I fussy cut around him and he's just on my cell phone. This is way back in, I don't know, the early 2000s, and so he's on a little Nokia phone that I had at the time. And we were traveling to Las Vegas, and I know he's having a conversation with my mom. So I wanted to capture just the fact that he's talking on the phone to Grandma, and I kind of remember the conversation he was having with her, and it's a very common conversation that a little guy that's, like 5 or 6 years old would have. And so I wanted to capture that. So I started out by taping down the background paper, and then I gessoed it with clear gesso, so you don't see that because I did that. I let it sit overnight and dry, and if you do that, the paper will go back to being flat. You don't have any ripples or anything in it, and this is just plain old cardstock. It's not anything super thick or ready for mixed media or anything like that. But if you tape it down, let it sit overnight, it works out, it goes back to being flat. So then I took some white Dylusions paint and then I spread that out with my finger because I knew I wanted that to go around him, kind of like a halo effect, just so that he would pop off the page more because the background is very bright. And then I just hand cut the speech bubble out of white cardstock, nothing fancy, just plain old white cardstock, probably from Hobby Lobby. I don't really use really good quality. I mean, not that theirs isn't good quality, because it is, but I don't use anything terribly expensive or that's ready for mixed media or anything just as white cardstock. I just use bulk pack for these kinds of things. So then I decided I'm going to pull out my thickers and I'm going to use these big red ones and these small blue ones, and I actually did this as part of a challenge over at the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. It was we have a monthly party and we do a whole bunch of challenges, and this was one of the challenges. It was called Opposites Attract, and so I'm using a huge photo and a long but small title. So the little letters are pretty small, and I really like how it came out. The red and the blue matched really well with this crazy hexagon background paper. So basically his end of the conversation says, "Hi, Graham, can you hear me? We're in Las Vegas. I'm having fun." And then I'm going to add some embellishments around the speech bubble to fill in a bunch of pieces of what I think her end of the conversation might be. And so that's pretty much going to be the whole layout. There's not a whole lot more to it. There's a lot going on in the background paper, so I didn't want to make things too busy beyond that. So I didn't make you sit through all of me adjusting the letters and all of that. I pulled out this box that I have of yellow embellishments, and I kind of just went through all of it, and then I pulled out pieces that I thought would work. And so down in the bottom left hand corner it has a spot for the date, and then the one right above that says happy. The round piece up in the speech bubble says yes, and the piece right above that says sending hugs. The yellow piece at the bottom of the speech bubble says remember this, and then I'll add one that says life is beautiful. I'm also pulling out some colored stars in the same blue and yellow, and I think the little round piece that is right at the beginning of the speech bubble, it actually says hello honey, and I'm going to move that over to the end of where it says hi Graham. And then I did pull up my paper. I pulled all of the washi tape off of it, and I decided to go ahead and trim it down and mat it on this white cardstock, and I ran it through my sewing machine with, let's see here, I think I used yellow thread. Yeah, actually it is yellow thread. Just to give it a little additional texture. I don't want anything overpowering, and so I find that the thread just adds a nice little detail to it. That stitching gives a good texture, but it doesn't add anything that's going to overpower the rest. It's just kind of a nice little detail work. So once all of these embellishments are on, it's going to read kind of like a conversation between him and my mom. Again, that piece in the upper right hand corner says, "Hello, honey." So it's kind of like he's saying, "Hi, Graham," and then it says, "Hello, honey," and then the rest of the conversation ensues. There's not a whole lot really to this layout. I just thought it was a fun picture. I had it blown up super big, and I just wanted to use it, and I thought it would be fun to get on a page. And sometimes I like to do that. I like just these kind of like little personality pages or little fun tidbits about my kids when they were little. And he really loved talking on the phone to my mom, especially since, you know, his big sister would get on the phone with grandma, and, you know, he wanted to be included, and he wanted to talk about his day too and all of the things we were doing. But, you know, in a small child's mind, a lot of that just adds up to I'm having fun. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and this layout. I will see you next time. Thanks so much for spending some time with me. Stick around for the close-ups. They'll be along shortly. Bye.